There's nothing quite like coming back to your own cabin after a long work trip. My lake cabin isn't just a weekend getaway, it's my sanctuary. I built it myself over the course of years, from cutting timber for the beams to laying down the stone fireplace by hand. It's quiet, private, and most importantly, mine. So imagine my shock when I pulled up one Friday evening and saw a row of unfamiliar cars clogging my driveway. The lights inside were blazing, music thumping loud enough to shake the windows, and voices echoed from the deck like it was some frat party. At first, I thought I had the wrong place. But no, it was definitely my cabin. My carved wooden sign hung by the steps, my canoe rested against the porch, and yet, complete strangers were drinking beer on my property. I stepped out of my truck, furious. Before I could even march up the steps, the sliding door opened and out came none other than HOA Karen. She was wearing a glittery top, drink in hand, and acting like queen of the cabin.
"What are you doing here?" she demanded. I blinked.
This is my cabin. The better question is, what the hell are you doing here? Karen tossed her head. This cabin is part of the HOA's managed properties now. You weren't using it, so we decided to host a gathering for the community. And you need to leave, you're not invited. I just stood there in disbelief. Lady, this is my private property. You broke in and threw a party? That's called trespassing. Karen smirked like she had me cornered. No, you're trespassing. I'm the HOA president, and according to our rules, unused properties can be repurposed for community benefit. You can argue with the police if you don't like it. And with that, she actually pulled out her phone and dialed 911. Within minutes, flashing lights lit up the driveway. Karen strutted over to the responding officers like she'd just summoned her personal security. That man is harassing us at our HOA event. Please remove him from the premises. The officers walked over to me. Sir, can we see some ID? I handed it over along with the deed paperwork I keep in my truck's glove box for just such HOA nonsense. One officer scanned the documents, looked up at me, then back at Karen. Ma'am, he said slowly, this property is legally his. You and everyone else here are trespassing. Karen's face went pale. That can't be right. He hasn't even been here for weeks. Doesn't matter, the officer replied. It's his home. You had no right to enter, much less throw a party. At that point, I couldn't resist. I pulled out my phone and started recording as the officers marched into the cabin and told everyone the party was over. Dozens of shocked neighbors shuffled out, embarrassed, carrying half-finished drinks. Karen tried to argue the whole way, but the officers finally warned her, one more word and she'd be riding in the back of the squad car. By the end of the night, my cabin was empty again, except for the mountain of trash they'd left behind. I didn't let it slide. I called my lawyer the next morning. With the evidence I had, trespassing, property damage, theft, yes, they raided my liquor cabinet. Karen and her HOA didn't stand a chance. When the dust settled, the HOA was slapped with a fat lawsuit. They were forced to pay restitution for the damages and legal fees, which drained their community fund. To cover the loss, they had to raise HOA dues, and you can bet every single neighbor knew exactly who was responsible, Karen. She was voted out as HOA president in disgrace, and last I heard, she moved away because nobody in the neighborhood could stand her. As for me, I got my cabin back, reinforced the locks, and installed cameras. Now when I pull up after a long trip, I don't see strangers partying. I see peace, quiet, and the porch light I left on. And whenever I think about Karen calling the cops on me for coming home to my own house, I can't help but laugh. That night, she thought she'd won. But in the end, she lost everything.